Chapter 1: The Beginning. In the small, picturesque town of Greenfield, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, lived a dog named Max. Max was a golden retriever, known throughout the town for his intelligence and unwavering loyalty. His owner, Mrs. Clara Jensen, was a retired schoolteacher who had found solace and companionship in Max after her husband passed away. Max had been a gift from her late husband, and from the moment Clara laid eyes on him, a deep bond formed between them. Max had a golden coat that shimmered in the sunlight, and his eyes were a warm, soulful brown. He exuded an aura of wisdom and calmness, often surprising those who met him with his human-like understanding and empathy. Clara, who had always been a lover of books and stories, often joked that Max was the smartest dog in the world, capable of understanding her every word and thought. And indeed, Max seemed to have a remarkable sense of understanding, intuitively knowing what Clara needed, even before she did. Every morning, Max would wake up with the first light of dawn, stretching his legs and giving a gentle shake to his fur. He would then trot to the front door, waiting patiently for the newspaper delivery. As soon as the paper landed on the porch, Max would pick it up with his mouth, careful not to tear the pages, and carry it to the kitchen. He would gently place it on the kitchen table before sitting by Clara's feet as she read, his tail wagging softly in contentment. This simple routine brought immense joy to Clara, who cherished these quiet moments with her faithful companion. During their daily walks through Greenfield, Max would lead Clara to her favorite spots, the quaint little cafe where she liked to enjoy a cup of tea, the park where she would sit and watch children play, and the old bookstore that smelled of parchment and ink. Max knew the way to each place by heart, and he took great pride in guiding Clara, ensuring she felt safe and content. The townspeople had grown accustomed to seeing Clara and Max together, and they would often stop to chat, patting Max on the head and offering him treats, which he accepted graciously. One sunny afternoon, as Clara and Max strolled through the forest near their home, Max's keen senses picked up something unusual. He sniffed the air, his ears pricking up in alertness. Clara noticed the change in Max's demeanor and felt a twinge of concern. Max rarely acted this way unless something was amiss. Without hesitation, Max began to lead Clara off the beaten path, his movements purposeful and determined. Clara, trusting Max implicitly, followed him, her curiosity piqued. They walked deeper into the forest, the sunlight filtering through the canopy of leaves above, casting dappled shadows on the ground. The air was filled with the scent of pine and earth, and the only sound was the crunch of leaves beneath their feet. After a short while, they reached a small clearing where an injured hiker lay on the ground, clearly in distress. The hiker, a young man in his 20s, had twisted his ankle badly and was unable to move. He looked up in surprise and relief as Max and Clara approached. Max, sensing the man's pain, approached him cautiously, giving him a gentle nudge with his nose. The hiker, grateful for the unexpected company, managed a weak smile and patted Max's head. Clara quickly assessed the situation, her years of teaching and caring for others kicking in. She knelt beside the hiker, asking him questions to determine the extent of his injuries. It was clear that he needed medical attention, and Clara knew they had to act fast. Reaching into her pocket, Clara pulled out her cell phone and called for help. The town's emergency services were quick to respond, and within minutes, the sound of sirens could be heard in the distance. As they waited, Clara and Max stayed with the hiker, offering words of comfort and reassurance. Max lay beside him, his presence a soothing balm to the young man's anxiety. When the paramedics arrived, they praised Max for his heroism, marveling at the dog's intelligence and loyalty. The hiker, grateful for the unexpected rescue, couldn't believe his luck. He had been stranded for hours, and without Max's intervention, the outcome could have been dire. As the paramedics carefully lifted the hiker onto a stretcher and prepared to transport him to the hospital, he looked at Clara and Max with tears in his eyes, thanking them profusely. Word of Max's heroism spread quickly through Greenfield, and soon everyone in town knew about the remarkable golden retriever who had saved a life. The local newspaper ran a story on Max, calling him the town's guardian angel. People would stop Clara and Max on their walks, eager to hear the story firsthand and to praise Max for his bravery. Clara, ever humble, would smile and say that Max was simply doing what he always did, taking care of those he loved. In the days and weeks that followed, Max's reputation as a hero grew, and he became a beloved figure in Greenfield. The townspeople would often leave treats and toys for him on Clara's porch, and children would draw pictures of Max, depicting him as a superhero with a cape and a shining star. Clara kept these drawings, cherishing each one as a testament to the bond she shared with her extraordinary dog. Max's intelligence and loyalty were more than just traits, they were the embodiment of the love and connection he had with Clara. Together, they continued their daily routines, finding joy and contentment in each other's company. And though Max never sought recognition or praise, his actions spoke volumes about the power of love and the incredible bond between a dog and his owner. As the seasons changed and the years passed, Clara and Max remained inseparable, their story a reminder to all who knew them of the beauty of loyalty, intelligence, and unwavering companionship. And so, in the small, picturesque town of Greenfield, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, the legend of Max, the faithful and intelligent golden retriever, lived on, inspiring generations to come. Chapter 2: The Trial. Years passed, and Max grew older, but his spirit and loyalty never wavered. Clara, too, aged gracefully, cherishing every moment with her faithful companion. The small town of Greenfield continued to hold its charm, and the bond between Clara and Max became a legendary tale, inspiring the townsfolk. However, life has its trials, and one winter, Greenfield faced one of its most severe challenges. A snowstorm of unprecedented ferocity hit the town, cutting off its residents from the outside world. The townspeople, accustomed to harsh winters, were prepared to a degree. They stocked up on supplies and fortified their homes against the biting cold. Clara, now in her 80s, had also prepared, with Max by her side. Despite her increasing dependence on Max, Clara remained a picture of grace and resilience. She spent her days reading by the fire, with Max nestled at her feet, his presence a constant source of warmth and comfort. One particularly cold and stormy night, Clara felt an unusual weariness wash over her. She had been feeling unwell for a few days, but dismissed it as the effects of the cold weather. However, that night, her condition worsened rapidly. She developed a high fever and was too weak to get out of bed. Her breaths came in ragged gasps, and she felt a deep, unsettling chill that no amount of blankets could dispel. Max stayed by her side, his eyes filled with concern and understanding. Realizing that Clara needed medical attention urgently, Max sprang into action. He nudged Clara's hand, licked her face, and barked softly, trying to comfort her. Clara managed to whisper, "Max, I need help," before drifting back into a fevered sleep. Max, sensing the gravity of the situation, knew he had to act fast. He remembered the route to the town's clinic, having accompanied Clara there many times before. With a determination born out of love and loyalty, Max braved the biting cold and deep snow. The storm had transformed the familiar streets into a treacherous, white labyrinth. The wind howled through the trees, and the snowflakes, sharp and relentless, stung his face. But Max pressed on, his paws sinking into the deep snow with each step. His golden fur, usually a beacon of warmth and light, was now coated with frost and ice. The journey was arduous. Max's paws were numb from the freezing temperatures, and the icy wind cut through him like a knife. He pushed forward, driven by the thought of Clara lying helpless and alone. The streets were deserted, and the town seemed eerily silent, save for the howling wind. Max navigated through the blizzard with an unerring sense of direction, guided by an invisible thread of loyalty that connected him to Clara. After what seemed like an eternity, Max finally reached the town's clinic. His strength was waning, but he mustered the last of his energy and began barking and scratching at the door, desperately trying to get the attention of Dr. Emily Harris, the town's physician. The sound of Max's persistent barking echoed through the clinic's empty halls. Dr. Harris, surprised to hear the commotion, rushed to the door. She was taken aback to see Max alone, his fur covered in snow and ice, his eyes pleading for help. Understanding something was terribly wrong, Dr. Harris quickly bundled up in her winter gear and followed Max into the storm. Max led the way, retracing his steps through the dark, snow-covered streets. Dr. Harris struggled to keep up, but Max's determination and the urgency in his eyes spurred her on. They reached Clara's house, where Max bounded to the door, barking and pawing at it frantically. Inside, Dr. Harris found Clara barely conscious, her skin pale and her breathing shallow. She quickly assessed Clara's condition and administered the necessary treatment and care. Max stayed close, his eyes never leaving Clara's face, as if willing her to recover. Dr. Harris worked tirelessly, her medical skills and Max's timely intervention proving to be a lifeline for Clara. As the storm raged outside, Dr. Harris remained with Clara, monitoring her condition and providing round-the-clock care. Max, exhausted from his ordeal, lay beside Clara's bed, his head resting on his paws, his eyes filled with unwavering devotion. Slowly but surely, Clara began to recover. Her fever subsided, and her strength gradually returned. Each time she opened her eyes, the first thing she saw was Max, his presence a comforting reminder of the love and loyalty that had saved her life. News of Max's heroic journey spread through Greenfield, touching the hearts of everyone who heard it. The townspeople marveled at the bond between Clara and Max, a bond that had once again proven to be life-saving. Max became an even greater legend in Greenfield, his story a testament to the extraordinary loyalty and intelligence of a dog who loved his owner beyond measure. As Clara slowly regained her strength, her gratitude towards Max deepened. She knew that without Max's timely intervention, the outcome could have been tragic. She spent her days by the fire, with Max at her side, reminiscing about the many adventures they had shared. Their bond, forged in love and tested by time, had emerged stronger than ever. Max, though older and grayer, remained Clara's faithful companion, his spirit as strong as the day they first met. Together, they faced the challenges of life with grace and resilience, their story a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who knew them. And so, in the small, picturesque town of Greenfield, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, the legend of Max, the faithful and intelligent golden retriever, continued to inspire generations, a timeless tale of love, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between a dog and his owner.